Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Glow. We are back again on this Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and I'm so excited today. The reason why I'm so excited is because I am the show and tell person today, and I have a guest with me that may be able to help you guys to glow and grow. That's what we're all about here on the Glow. If you missed us last week, we were off the air last week. We were getting some stuff together, got a lot of business going on. So, we're back here this week. It's 4 o'clock, so we're going to get started with the glow. I have Mr. Kijana Owens with me. He's actually an author and an entrepreneur, and I'd like to introduce him to you guys today. So, can we bring in Mr. Kijana Owens?
Absolutely. Can you see me and hear me well?
I see you.
All right, man. Amazing. Thank you, Vonshai, for allowing me to be on your amazing platform. Your energy, your consistency, your professionalism, the style in which you operate, and everything you do, man. I'm just glad you called me to be a part of what you're doing. So I'm honored. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. You got so much to add and so much to bring value to businesses. So I thought, I got to talk to the most interesting people I can find.
Well,
So,
glad to be in that lane right there. Thank you. Yes.
right. So, all right. So, introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them what you do, what you got going on, and then we'll just go on from there.
Thank you for the opportunity. Hey, my name is Kijana Owens. I know that's a little bit sometimes difficult to get off. Makes you a cool guy because you got to have some personality, have a kind of different name. It actually means young man in Swahili, youth, and forever in Hebrew. So it kind of relates to young man forever. I'm actually just a guy on a mission to make an impact in lives, businesses. I believe that if you are willing to do the work for anything that you want to do in your life, you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish in life, but you got to just do the work. I've written a couple of books, as Vonshai said. I do own a company, my marketing company, Success Express Marketing Solutions, where our business is essentially cultivating business for businesses. Found myself in that lane of business just by natural nature for wanting to help people, being kind of open to new ideas, technology in this day and time right now has just put us in position to meet people like you, where we could be in our home offices, we could be anywhere, laptop entrepreneurs, and make a difference together. So that's a little bit of nutshell about me. Just excited to be here, looking forward to making an impact with your amazing network. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. That is an awesome introduction for yourself. You have done so many different things as far as Success Network. You do a lot of things with your dad. You do art. You do a lot of different things. So sometimes, like you say, a laptop entrepreneur, it's like we do so many things. Like it's no limit. When you're an entrepreneur, it's kind of like it's unlimited grounds. So I'm gonna ask you, like, how long ago did you start or want to become an entrepreneur? How long ago was that?
Man, you're going to take me back to kid days now. Now I'm talking about, my
You
dad.
gotta go back.
Let's say, go back. How far back? Way back, right?
Way back.
I've always had, I don't know, all my friends would tell me 30, 40 plus year friendships from Pasadena, California. You got some amazing friends and family that have always been, but I've always been kind of not knowingly, man, very aggressive about doing something. So leadership has kind of been in me. My dad, as an example, I'd have to look outside of my household for a leader, a mentor, someone to show me what it's like to be a man. While I may not have liked it, right? We don't like what Dad's talking about, but he was professional and he was about taking care of his family. And from there, I saw that you don't have to do what they say you have to do. Now, I've made some major mistakes in my life along the way to get here. I'm all gray beard or shave so I can be all, but, and we all have. But I think the passion to own my own began right around my mid 30s, I would say, or close to 30. I was like, I don't want to be floating around doing the same thing. I want to really make a difference. I want my life to mean something. I want people to know that I came this way. I want more than just to pass through life as a random act or something like that. And I just met people by that kind of subscription that opened doors for me. And I said, you know what? If you see a thing being done, you know a thing can be done. And when we have faith, that's not, now you're not applying faith because you have evidence. And once I had evidence that I could do something better for myself, I saw that other people could too. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to do what it takes to get to where I want to get. I got some amazing dreams. I started this company, Success Express, off of what my father had developed in the 80s. And from there, we took it into the new technology and video and webs and natural networker. And we have connected some dots all around the world. And from there, I just wrote my book. And without, much more, I just truly am committed to being the kind of person that people would aspire for themselves as the work, and then meet people that also inspire me to be better.
Right, that's good. That's all good for entrepreneurs. Like you said, we make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not scared to make no mistakes because as long as I'm out there doing something, putting at least some type of effort in, I know that I can correct a mistake, but I cannot correct something that I'm not doing at all because that means I'm, still starting from scratch. So sometimes you just got to jump in and, get things done. And I have seen you do that with a lot of different things. What is the name of your book the recent one that you have out?
Well, thank you. My recent, most current work right here, actually, thank you. It's Seven Keys to Success. Practical principles for personal achievement. Just like you say, the first is an acronym of success. Each letter has a synonymous, a meaning inside of the book. That first S is start now, man. It's like how you write a book. I'm like, I don't really know. I just want to do something. And I had written a poetry work before. It was spiritual, something I felt. I'm not a poet, but I wrote some poetry. We put in a work some years ago. I said, I really want to share how to get going. People too stuck and not getting started. As you said, the first S is start now. That's what, if anybody hears anything on this show that comes from me, don't wait till everything's right. And you don't have to be perfect, but you
Right.
do
You
have to
don't.
get started.
Yes. And that is very important. And that's what I try to promote a lot on the glow is, you have a small business, you have an idea, you have a passion, and sometimes we can profit from what we're passionate about. So if it's something that you can profit from, sometimes you just sit down with somebody, work it out, go over it, or sometimes you just put everything together and just start. And once you get started, like you could drive a car, but you got to start it up first. You can't just get in and just go anywhere. You got to start it up and then you start to go. So most people won't start, like you said. So the S is for success, but the S is also for start. And I love starting new businesses. It's like fresh water to me. It's like, wow. Like after I'm tired of doing one thing, I'm like, okay, what's next? I've always been in the service business. So now I am going to be introducing in a little while. I'm going to be introducing my products that I actually started just a couple days ago, and I'm already almost sold out. So,
Yeah,
so
and
the glow.
I gotta say that about you. You interview, you give this amazing platform for people to talk about what they do because you're passionate about helping people.
Mhm.
But you you start now. I've watched you. People will tell you what you can't do. People tell you what you should do. People tell you what won't work. And at the same time, they stuck where they were while you started. And it's never failing. It's always moving. It's always moving forward. How you going? You don't even know if it's a failure because the project will never be done until it's done. You started. Look, if you own it, if you use it, and you understand it, you should own it. You cook. You have beautiful dishes. I mean, not just good food, but I mean the look. And then you say, well, why not do the spice? That's
Mhm.
brilliant. So yeah, let everybody know about that. That's what's going on. Thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
What I
What
have
I
done,
have done
I
is
have cooked
I
so
have
much
cooked so
over the
much
years,
over the years,
and most of the
and
things
most
that
of
I
the things
made,
that
I
I
created
made,
my
I
own
created my
devices.
own spice.
I'm a
I'm a
gourmet chef. So that means that when I put together seasonings and spices, they're for a purpose. When I go to the store and I buy a lot of stuff, sometimes it has too much salt. Like if you notice, It's garlic salt, seasoning salt, Cajun has salt. Everything has a salt in it. So a lot of times when people season food, it's over salted. So I used to blend my own seasonings, and people would be like, "Oh my God, that's so good! Where you get the flavor from?" And I would tell them, "Oh, I made this. This is a recipe that I created." So I pray and meditate regularly. I woke up at 4 in the morning, and I was like, I think, you know what? I'm gonna do a spice business. So got up in the morning, thought about it for a couple of days, looked it up, found out it's like $11 billion industry. I was like, okay, because I'm about that money. So I checked it out and I was like, wow, okay, good industry. It's something I already know how to do. I went to the store, researched some spices, looked online, did a lot of research. I did it all in one day because I don't like waiting too long. So I did a lot of research, put it all together, and then brought the spices home, mixed and blended up some stuff. So I came up with three spices. So I have my spices here. They are, one is a savory, which is like onion, garlic. It has peppers. It has a few different things, but most of all, it's not a high salt content. So you can use it on your food, cook with the food, and it'll actually taste really good without a lot of salt. Then I have number two, which is spicy. It's spicy, but it's not a Cajun seasoning, so it can spice anything, any types of food. And it also has a little bit of salt in it, but it's Himalayan pink sea salt. So it actually is better for you and it's not overwhelming. And then I have number three, which is my exotic blend, which has like curry and turmeric and a lot of different seasonings that you see in exotic foods. So these can be actually mixed together, one and two, two and three. I recommend everybody to buy the whole set of three, which is only like $20. But I woke up this morning, my PayPal was going off. I set up a website because I'm like one of them action people. Like I like to get it into action. Once I think of the idea and it's good enough, I'm putting it into action. So with that being said, is my company is 123belicious.com, and you can go there and actually you can order your spices already. So I'm jumping the gate. I'm jumping out the gate. Getting everything done. I'm so excited. And the good thing about you being here is because I'm going to ask you, because you help a lot of entrepreneurs, like, what would you recommend a person who started a spice business? Like, what kind of recommendations would you give me to move forward, or things like
Oh,
that?
wow. See, now you're coming down my pipe. See, I believe that God gave me an innate ability to see vision before vision kind of, I don't know. I could be in a room with companies, and these guys can have the documentation, all the certification, years and decades of marketing experience. But when the idea and the concept comes out, it all comes down to the Girl Scout cookie. I'm telling you. See, it's not the product.
Mhm.
It's the base of the product. It's the value of the product. It's the worth of the product. It's how far does the product span? I got $2 and I want to spend it. How far can my $2 reach with your product, right? So
Mhm.
see, as it tastes good, but you said that it was also good for you. See, the product ingredient of about healthy, right? Improvement, empowerment, and those kind of things. And you're connected to the community, so I know that your give back component, I know where your mind is. And that's what people want to know. So if it tastes the same here and it tastes the same here, I want my money to go with you because of what you do. So I always tell people it's not just the concept, it's what the concept does for other people, right? And
Right.
that's the basic blueprint for anything. That's very general. But then
Mhm.
specific with the spices, right? I think I'm a brand guy, so I like Ryobi. I like how it looks. I like it's easy. They got a whole bunch of components, and I like what you're doing right there. You can interchange. You just said
Right.
that interchangeability with your model is so different than anybody else's. While they may be able to do it, they don't explain that you should or could or how it works. You love cooking. That's different too. It's not something you did for money. It's something you did for passion. See, passion plus purpose equals
Mhm.
profit. Then you get some money. So
Right.
if I would tell anybody that's listening out there, don't do it for money. Do it because you're passionate about it. Because once money is not happening, you won't do it anymore. So your brand is always phenomenal. You always put a major stamp on your brand. That's why you deal in a higher stratosphere. So I would say you continue. You got an amazing brand. I like the jars. It's very simple, but you outline how they interchange, and I think that's a key component to what makes you different already.
Well, thank you. So when I put everything together, I was thinking of health. I was also thinking of people who cook and who use all the same seasons from the store. Like I cook in a lot of people's kitchen. So I open up cabinets at people's houses. You wouldn't believe some of the people that I get to go to their house and open up the cabinets. But the seasonings sometimes are not as, not as fruitful for season and flavors. And a lot of people say the food tastes the same. So if you ever eaten any of my food, you know it has a little distinctive different taste because I like to blend all my seasonings from scratch. So that way I get a distinctive flavor. So I'm just offering it to everybody. You can mix them and blend them. You can make a spicy exotic. You can make a savory exotic, a savory and spicy. But there's not a lot of salt in them, so they mix well together, and they'll make everything taste good. My daughter tasted it without even using it on food, and she says she felt like she ate a whole meal. But you can put it on fish, it can go on chicken, it can absolutely go on everything. It's a cooking spice. You can mix it with butter, you can mix it with oils, um, and it's all good. So if you're novel and you don't know how to cook too good and you don't know how to season, all you need is one of these seasonings. You good?
Copyright. With
Right.
one, with 1, 2, 3 delicious, all your meals would be delicious.
Right. I like that. See? Look how fast you
You
got
told
it.
me
You
to keep that. Look, we got we got to wrap that up. Let's
right,
wrap
wrap
that
that
up.
up.
You saw that live right there, right? That's no,
Right.
that's right there live, no Memorex. 1, 2, 3, delicious. All your meals would be delicious. Hey,
Absolutely.
but that's where it starts, my friend. I'm
Right.
I love you, sister. You're about people. See what they don't know. They know this story. This is the deal about any company. See, they know the glory. But see, I
Hmm.
watched you over at Youth Build teaching kids that needed some tools
Hmm.
as their platform with cooking. See, it's a
Hmm.
platform. And then when you're helping people, and then somebody says, hey, and then you meet people, and now here you go, got your brand that's a global brand
Hmm.
right here locally. So I would say, hey, the 1, 2, 3 delicious. You make every meal delicious, but you better get it while it's
Hey.
here. You better get it while it's here before they take it overseas. Hey, God bless. Yes, ma'am. Uh,
Right. Thank you for
amazing.
all of that. That's some good insight. So I want
Well,
to
that's
ask
what
you a
I.
little, yeah, I know. So now I got some more questions for you. So we got people who are watching. This their first time having a business as well. And of course, not my first. This is one of many. I probably had like 100 businesses. My entrepreneurship started when I was 10 years old, actually. I wanted to go to Disneyland, and we had a house full of kids. And my mom was like, oh, no, I can't afford to send everybody to Disneyland. I said, well, if we get the money, can we go to Will you take us to Disneyland? And so she was like, if you get the money, you can do something, sell something, go work for somebody, go do something. So I made up a car wash and a bake sale at the same time. So I went in the house, got Kool-Aid, lemons, baked cookies, made muffins. I had all kind of stuff. So when you come wash your car, you buying food. I made sure that by the time we finished all of that, we took 17 to 20, I believe it was about 20 kids from our neighborhood all to Disneyland because I was like, oh, you just sell something and get some money, I'm gonna do it. I got it. So now I'm making spices, selling it, and I just really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the blending and the mixing. I feel like a whole scientist sometimes. But like I was gonna ask you, you've been doing a lot of virtual things. So can you tell us a little bit about the virtual stuff that you got going on?
Oh, absolutely. If you think about it in the time and now, uh, the beginning of the year we got some information and some things we're going to change. Now some people activated that time. Some
Mm-hmm.
people activated a little bit earlier than that time, and they put themselves in different positions moving forward. When the news came out about change and adjustment, some people looked at the wave like, what is that? right? That's that's it's figurative, but that's what happens. Like it's a change. Other people like ourselves, we made the transition. It's an e-commerce world. It's an online. It's just like when currency transitioned to a debit card. You had some that's, oh man, I'm gonna keep my money in it, right? I'm gonna hide my money. Well, I don't know how you're gonna get paid because they don't pay like that anymore. So they made the transition. Online communication like we're doing right now. Think about it, a church, an organization, chambers of commerce. Good Lord, if you think about it, you may have been able to get 10 to 20 people at a meeting. In a day's time right now, we're able to reach thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of people with a message. Now, is your message, what is your message? That's the key. But look at the tools of today. So we made the transition. We've been doing some of the hottest video marketing technology. We've created video flyers. People are so amazed. They don't even know what to say about it because we've never seen it before. But we keep continuing to pull new tools, new platforms, not being afraid to fail, not being afraid to be first, not being afraid to take the hit by being out in front of the wall to free ourselves from what we don't want to do with our lives. So that's what I see. I see a lot of people that have come up with where you could buy the mask out of a vending machine. Thinkers. You can sit in your home and get everything you need. You don't have to go buy all the toilet paper at the thing. You could think, and they'll deliver it. This is where I'm at, right? We got to get the information across to people to be able to think. So I talk to people about owning your own business, having a platform of personal development where that has conversation plans attached to it from home. 50 million people around the country right now looking for an unemployment check or somebody to call them back from somewhere that fired them or let them off because they couldn't keep them, and they're trying to get back. If you're waiting on that call, man, that's a wave coming for you. We can't do that. So that's been my message, and that's what I've been doing, and that's been my transition. Vonshai, thank you.
Well, so that is basically what you do for Success Express. You help people put together the businesses and the plans and videos and marketing materials and different things like that, right?
Absolutely. And it's no one, I don't, you could go on this and this site and this site, and it got cost just for a logo, and you could get the website, and you could do a website yourself. That's not marketing. Marketing is listening to a client and helping them create the vision for their goals. Most people, flyers and all that stuff is just a component to it. How do
Right,
you put
right.
all this stuff together that makes sense? Do you have an EIN number? Is your business best form as an LLC? Have you found a way that you make sure your taxes are in alignment? That's a lot to owning and operating a business. And I talk and I listen mostly to clients and give the direction. And I believe in this: value before invoice. You don't have to
Right.
charge someone for communicating about how you can help them. Because if you help people, eventually, if you help enough people get what they want, by default in the world, the law of success, the law of the universe, you will have everything you want. So that's where I operate.
And that is
And
an
that is
excellent
an
place to
excellent place to
operate from.
operate from.
You
Most
know,
people,
Most people,
most people,
it's
I
tough
say
here
all the
because,
time.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah, I
most
was going to
people
say,
I
most
say
people,
all the time that if they know that necessity has always been the mother of invention, and anybody that you help with a purpose and you provide a solution, that's already going to be a successful business because everybody's always looking for a solution. So I always ask myself, I always ask my clients that I work with in business, what problem do you solve and what value do you bring to a person's life, to their business, to their home, to their health? There's a lot of different components, and everything that we see has been invented by somebody. So, you just got to be on top of your game. And by having people like you, Success Express comes up with different kind of marketing materials by listening to what it is that you need. Not just saying, like you said, here's some flyers, here's a website, here's this, here's that. It's best that you find out what it is that they need because sometimes people are kind of just off the mark. And if they just switch just a little bit, they'll probably actually be much more successful. That has been your experience as well.
All the time. Relationships, relational currency, right? Our relationship. There are many things that a business could need that I might not be able to bring to the table, but my relationship with like the likes of you as a concierge, you can facilitate some of the needs that a client of mine might have. That's where relational currency in its turn of dollars that reciprocate the reciprocal value of how we share information. I think that without that, listening, having those relationships, strong relationships, so I could say like Brian Cochran, a dynamo in this industry, especially here in Southern California. Without having relationships like that, and if you don't know, without having relationships in marketing and business development and those kind of things, I wouldn't have someone I could introduce. Hey, I may not do that. That's one of the things that's very important, and with the relationships with Success Express, I just so many individuals that I send business to just because I need this client, friend, or family member to have the best service possible. And if I'm not able to bring that specific, they need to talk to someone else, and I need to connect them.
Right. And that is very important. And I always tell everybody on the glow every week we come in, relationships are everything because in currency, I am like a billionaire in relationships. My relationship currency, oh, I speak to at least a couple millionaires a day, so I try to help people make things happen. I try to be a part of things that are happening. Um, so it's one of those things where right now, since we can't network like we used to, we have to utilize like all the tools. Like right now, we're utilizing our stream, and then we're utilizing Zoom, and we're using all these different things to still connect with people. So another thing I would like to for you to mention and bring up is you have you also work in a few different businesses like travel and other things like that. How is that business going right now since no one's really traveling?
Man, that is one of the best questions. It's all about knowing, understanding where you are. There was a time when you had to wheel a computer from the back room with a dollar to get it right. There was a time. There wasn't a thing like this. And when they were talking about that, you had to be crazy. So I don't mind being in front of things that may seem a little adverse, complicated, or even challenged. Travel, for instance. There is no doubt that if everyone was watching the news right now and they said it's all good, the cruise, I mean, you can understand, right? So, but what happens is people wait until everybody else says it's kind of okay to come out, right? But by that time, the stampede is going forward. That's where the wealth is. So I'm very excited about it. And just like, see, I'm in a Warren Buffett mode of thinking. See, we got to get out of what the people that we're around think and what the people that we're around see. See, the people that we are generally around have not seen much. So how can they see much? So we have to show where we're going. Some will watch, some will work. Some like for you to come up with the Bentley and then believe. That's fine. Now, can you get in at that time? Probably not. But you can watch it roll. That's how it works. But then some people like to, hey man, you got this old raggedy Datsun, but hey, I got an extra tire. And they find a way to work things out. Just like Southwest Airlines. Why do you have to fly from Dallas to Nebraska to go to Houston? Right?
Wow.
Southwest Airlines is created on a napkin. So travel right now is this $8 trillion industry. The travel component product right now is in preparation mode like never before. So being inside of information is different than being outside of information. Do you think that they just started playing NFL football just recently during the transition, or were people inside communicating about how it was going to be on the court so you could watch it and buy it on TV? So I'm in the room with the people that are in preparation mode. So when you're ready to click on them.com, put yourself in the mindset to click on you.com. That's where it's at. You're going to do it. If you use it and you understand it, you should own it. Now, those are the people that I'm talking to. The people that understand that, hey, I use it, I understand it, I should own it. And travel is one of those components from a home-based business standpoint. Number-wise, the company that I'm with has booked $800 million, $850 million in less than 5 years as a home-based business booking engine other than the ones you see on commercials. So instead of paying for commercials, instead of paying for advertisement, it's word of mouth. And they pay that to the field, and I happen to be in the field, and I'm looking for some field generals. How about
Wow.
that?
Okay. All right. And what's the name of the company? I actually joined with you for a while and was working with you. I actually booked some cruises for some of my clients.
Mhm.
I had some people sign up. So it was exciting for me. But one thing, I'm really not into the multi-level marketing. Like you see, I'm not going to sell Mary Kay when I'm trying to be Mary Kay. So I'm always trying to do my own thing. I've been building up my name, Vonshai, which was given to me by my mom. She said, you're supposed to make that name famous. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try each and every kind of way I can. I'm gonna try. So
That's
I'm
great.
go ahead.
Absolutely. And because what you have is a vision. See that the main, it doesn't have to be this thing or that thing. One thing it has to be is something. That's the
Mm-hmm.
deal. You have something. Now, Planet Marketing is the company, and some will and some won't. Just like anything, you start a job here, you start a job here, you go here, you go there, you
Right,
fail
right,
forward, you make transitions, and guess what? They put a sign out the next day that you leave that they're hiring. It keeps going. This
right.
this ama- this amazing company as a culture, people over profits. So with network marketing, as you say, I think is one of the most misunderstood industries in the world. Mostly because people that try to explain the industry don't understand the industry. They think it's selling to someone. But I have
Right,
never
right,
bought a product or a service, to include yours, that I didn't tell somebody about it. Now, what they said was, since you like it, I'm proud of it. I want to tell people, and if they purchase it, the company says we'll give you a referral for that. That's as simple as it is. Now, people make it really complicated. Oh, it's this and that. But I'll ask you this: when you get that cool purse, I got some cool suits. I send them over there. They ask me all the time. Hey, you go, man. I bought a coat with a good deal. I tell them, man, and I feel good about it. But here, just like when I was in car sales, I couldn't tell people to get a good job over here and they pay me for helping them get a good job and then ultimately take my job, right?
right, right.
Right. Ultimately take my job for telling them how to do it better than me, faster than me, younger than me. I'm out of there. But here they say, man, if you teach people to earn, if you help people to change, and the main thing it is it's a personal development platform that happens to have a high level compensation plan attached to it. You have a system. Most people don't have a system. They want to start, right? But they have no system of payment. They haven't learned how to keep the trackings. They don't have any kind of tools but this industry teaches those tools, and now you get to apply them to an income platform that you can earn as well. So we do training, we do all of those things, and right now we got 58,000 around the world with a payout per month during the pandemic of over $2.5 million to the field right now. So what people
Wow,
say
that's
and what
big.
you know is two different things.
Right. That's really big because like I said, I'm not a person that does good at the marketing, but so many people I've seen so many people be like total rock star. And you wonder like that person is so passionate. And you got to be passionate about whatever it is. Like if you are selling paparazzi or Mary Kay or WFG, whatever vehicle that you decide to get in, you need to press the gas because if you don't have any other ideas and somebody has already thought of something that you can do, You need to be able to get in there and do your best, learn, teach, refer, and build yourself up. Here at the Glow, we always tell people that's how you glow up, by learning and growing and making yourself available when somebody has questions. It's like almost like you're giving away the secret sauce so that the people can actually have the meat, because the sauce, everybody got some sauce. Everybody know how to put stuff together and how to make things happen. But if you have something that you are passionate about, which is the meat, like barbecue sauce is good, but it ain't good by itself. You gotta put some meat. You gotta put the barbecue sauce on the meat in order for it to actually taste like something. So you can't just be messing around with the sauce. You gotta make sure you put that meat underneath it to make it real good and to make it fill you up, you know. So in business and in life, you have to be able to just do what you need to do to move forward at any stage. Like right now, everybody's been shut down at home, and a lot of things have been going on. And so if it wasn't for us having so much time on our hands to think, like, what's our next move? Like, that job is not guaranteed. Some are, some aren't. But what is your next move? Like, what would you be able to do for yourself at your house? What do you love to do? What thing do people know you for? I always ask people that. I always say, what do they know you for? Like, like when people, if I mention your name, what's the first thing that people think about you? That is how you build a brand. If you all over the place and this week you're doing this week you're doing that, this week you're doing that, and I can't say exactly pinpoint what you do, then you might want to just focus, stay focused and reach out to somebody like myself, a business consultant, or the grindologist, and he will let you know, like, okay, this is what you need to do, pinpoint something that will make your business grow. And that's what we all about here on the Glow. So I want to ask you another question about your book. So what, you got 7 keys, right? What is the most important key? Like, if I was to pick the book up right now and I was like, I'm trying to get started right away, what key do you think that you would give somebody who's just starting out? What's the first key?
I think use what you have is the most at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Starting out is important, but then you gotta like use what you have. So once you want to start, like I gotta get. Well, you gotta look at what you have first, and I'm gonna go back to having a system. See that's a thing about a lot of you don't have a system to support what your vision is, which is why these network marketing industry executives and opportunities present themselves, because they offer. You have to set the appointment. You have to do the work. You have to make the calls. You have to show up on time. You have to be prepared. And guess where that is? Everywhere. Because when you go to the job, it's the same thing. But here's the deal with anything. People believe that somebody has a value for them based on what they pay them. So if you subscribe that you're $20 an hour, $25 an hour. Let me give you what the math is on that. That's $20 for every 60 minutes. Changes how you think of it. Is that what? Is it $50? I mean, is it $100? I don't know what it is, but when you say that, you want to do something that use what you have aspect to get started. I like to use lawn and garden. You want to be a lawn and garden, it's a simple start. It's some complicated stuff to it, but I have one that just say, you got a lawnmower? Yeah. Got a weed it? Yeah. You got some bags? Yeah. You got a truck? No. Okay. U-Haul. Right? You start thinking Home Depot, they rent them out a day. Truck, you can get your trailer. Little DBA, might need some insurance a little bit, but then you can knock next door. So it's about using what you have. There's too many people that make excuses. They say this don't work, or that don't work, or that don't work. No, they don't work. That's the deal.
Right.
See, they say be there at work at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. You got the job on Wednesday. All the way from Wednesday to Thursday, Friday, you oil change, fix your tires, got your suit ready, all your stuff, because you're going to have a job on Monday. You spent $300, $400, $500 to get ready for that job. Man, you got on there Monday at 8:30. They said to be there at 9. You was ready to go. You did that for about a week. Then it was 8:45. Then it was then you were late. Then you stopped shaving and everything else. And so you put it over to network marketing. It's gonna be the same thing. So that's
Right.
what it is. Anything you do on your
Right. You
own,
got to use what you got, just like you said.
if you do it for them and you can't do it for you, you need to
Right.
keep looking for them. Don't come over here.
Right.
And that's not gonna work. Not
Right.
gonna
And I
work.
do tell people, use what you got. Like you have something within you always that can either benefit somebody else's life, it could benefit your life, make somebody's life easier, make somebody's day brighter. You have something that you can do. So putting those skills together and having a passion for it is almost, to a person that is an entrepreneur, it's almost like the way we breathe. Like it's almost like a taking your next breath. It's not like I am not a good employee. I'm just not. I ain't been a good employee for a long time because I like to have my own business. I get to work and I start telling everybody what to do. I think I'm the boss as soon as I get there. I need a day off. I'm not doing this and I want to do that and we should do this. And I'm always constantly trying to improve when I go out and work at a job. But when I'm working for myself, it's the creativity of what I can do and change within a day. This whole spice line, I made it in a day. I made the website in a day. I put it on Facebook one day and sold out in one day because I had already let it replay in my mind so many times that I manifested what I wanted and how I wanted it to be. So now all I can do is build it and grow into it and keep building it because I seen a company last night that's making $10 million a year doing spices. I'm like, wait a minute, I want 20. Let me get to work. So I don't have no problem using what I got, using my skills. I've been cooking and I've been a chef for about 30 years for celebrities and important clients. I've been a caterer. Can't do that no more. Getting too old for that. So sometimes you got to be able to pivot and move around and make adjustments. So it's not failing. I would say I was the most successful chef that I know as far as me. But I haven't failed because I stopped. And sometimes people need to put down some of the things that they're doing that's wasting a lot of time and just focus that attention on something that's actually prosperous and purposeful. And so anything that you do, you have to be able to put your whole heart and mind and everything into it. And when you're an entrepreneur, tomorrow I could name this a whole different thing. This could be five, six, seven because it's my stuff. So I have the creative freedom to do whatever I want with my things. And that's what you don't have when you go to work. You don't have that at all. You have to, you following along with the system. And, maybe a year from now, they're going to raise that $25 to 26. Well, you're going to think you're really doing something, huh?
Here's a cool way to look at it. Like I believe we got to use what we have. So if you have an opportunity to be employed in this time, see the mindset is that's my business. See, it's not your job, it's your business, so that you can apply what you're doing there to the next step. If that's one step, the next step is after that. Like I got to put aside this amount or the line of guard. This week I'm going to give me a shovel, you see, from the job. Next week I'm going to give me some bags. Whatever the case is, you got to dig the shovel. People want to change when the pain of going forward hurts so bad. See, it hurts so bad that you can't get through the threshold. That's what they say. How long? Well, you should do something else. Because, see, the people over here living, right? You looking at them like, man, they over there. I'm over here. You throw a shovel down. Let me give you an example of Black lives. When we were free as slaves, wow, they threw a quick party, right? I'm just going to make this kind of fun here a little bit, just for mental visual sake. Now, come back a couple of weeks later. Hey, boss, you think I can have that corner back there in the back? Because, see, you was free, but I can't move my product. I got the land, but see, I don't really have the infrastructure. I do want to be free, but at least, I'm the best corn raiser you ever have seen. You know that. Let me get that 40 acres back there in that meeting, right? So I'm
Mhm.
free, but here's the same thing in business and in life, the same thing. And we can't break, see, the yoke where we stay with the value. Now we left our fields to go to Chicago for the Cadillac because of the fun. But imagine if we maintain the fields and the land and the acres and the hundreds of thousands of acres of land that we'd have at this time. See, that's where people leave the work because it looks better over there. Water your
Right.
grass. Water your grass. Man, stay where you at. Don't let them tell you. Listen, I ain't supposed to have no book. I got three. So I'm going to tell you some real stuff. They're going to tell you what you can't do. They're going to tell you what you should do. Man, you got him. He's giving you a passion to do something with your life. And the route you take is not for anyone else. So they're not going to see what you, just like you, Vonshai, what you see. I'm sure they love you. They support you. They see, they want you to win, you know, our friends and family and the community and everything else. But the people, they don't see what you see. And that's cool right now because
Mhm.
they might see you in the corner store, but you see you in the global store.
Right.
Am I wrong?
Right. Right.
Oh,
Because
oh,
I'm the kind of
oh.
person with my mind is open, my dreams are big, and I'm not scared of whatever it takes to go through with it. I've always been the only time I claim this without getting in trouble, I've been a little hard headed. So I don't really care what people say, what you get. I mean, you can come tell me this is the worst thing you ever thought of, and I'll be like, oh, thanks. You know, how many do you want? Because what you have planned for me and what I got planned for me, you have no idea. You know, so some people got to just be hard headed, like you was when you was a kid. Somebody tell you don't do something, you did it anyway. You know, you did it anyway. Whether you got in trouble for it, whether you have fun for it, you did it anyway. So I'm the kind of person that I don't really have a lot of people over me to tell me what to do. So basically, I do what I want. You know, so I do what I want, and then some people wait to look for other people's opinions, and some people do anything between me and God. Like once I pray about it, and we both agree, and he has planted so many gifts and seeds, and he's planted so much inside of each one of us. It's like if we would just take the time to just find out from him what need that we can serve, then we don't even have to worry about working. Like this ain't work to me. Like this ain't work. Like making some spices, that was like creativity. It was fun. To me, I was doing it all day and I didn't realize what time it was. They always say whatever you could do without even paying attention to the clock. Like I had literally no idea what time it was. At the end of the night, I finished everything. I jumped on the website. I started taking pictures. I did photo shoots. And I said everything might not be perfect. Website might not be perfect. And everything might not be perfect, but the PayPal worked. As long as the PayPal worked.
Let me hit you
So
with something right here. See,
right.
you 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 right in my good vein right there because you know what,
Hmm.
man, when you get to see that's another transition for you. I don't know who might get it. I don't know when they might get it. My dad used to hit me with stuff to hit me like, right? Years later, like, okay, right. So I'm gonna do something. Look, get to and got to. See, the job, like we talked about. See, in the mind, I gotta get a job. See, in my mind, I get to get one. Man, I get to get up in the morning. I get to get up earlier than most people in my competitive industry. I get to get up earlier than most people that want what I want. And over time, the time frame is going to condense because guess what? When they look up, it's undeniable. I'm in the room. See, years ago, I wasn't even in the room. They was at the party. They was at the party, and I kept. This is how it works. This thing. If anything that I could say that would come across to somebody, because it's all about impact. It ain't about me. It ain't about nothing I'm doing. This is about what you could do. Now, what we may be able to do together. Obviously, I'd love to talk to you. But just check this out. You have to subscribe that you're gonna do something for you. That's my message. That's the impact. That's the whole deal. I ain't supposed to be here. And everybody that's listening right there, we have all had a dark day. Now, your dark day might have been a flat tire. You know, if you fix this flat tire in the sun, Somebody may have had, it could have been a credit card didn't work at the teller, one could maybe, but to them that was one of the darkest days in life. Some people have faced things that were life threatening. Some people have. Everybody had a dark day. On that day, you said, "I will if you will." Man, you must to apply that purpose. It's gonna put you somewhere that you never thought you could be, and because you don't know where you're going anyway. Now that go put it in a nutshell. So where you think you are, you don't even know if you're supposed to be there, even when you at the party.
Right. That's a nutshell right there, because the simple fact is that we all try to find out where we're going, but at the end of the day, our whole life and our kids have already been planned out. So we kind of just working within, as long as you staying in path of your purpose and doing what you passionate about, we all just working within something that has already been created for us. Like God already knew my name was Vonshai and I was gonna make the spices. He wasn't surprised. He was just trying to figure out when I was gonna listen, when I was gonna sit down. As soon as that happened, he was able to impart and give me some knowledge, some power, and some skills and abilities that I have learned over the years to actually make something happen and just not be scared of making it happen. And that's what the glow is all about. Like, I come here every week and I want to inspire people. I want to uplift people. I want to bring people to the light, bring them to the glow. We come here and I bring entrepreneurs, and I want to talk to the very interesting people like yourself who have 3 books. Like somebody, like you said, you didn't think you had 1 book. Now you got 3. Somebody would have told you, oh no, you can't write no book. That's too much work. And if you would have listened to one person, you wouldn't have 3 books, not just one, but 3. So, you are the kind of person who pushes forward and does what you're passionate about. And when you do something you're passionate about, you don't really care if you get paid. It's all about getting rewarded with the feeling of accomplishment.
You do bring me back. You have to do it with the spirit of giving. You have the breakthrough is not. I got to
Right.
break through the thing. That's not gonna get you, man. It's over there. I'm going. I believe it. Thank you, man. Man, the shovel. Man, I got me another shovel, a better shovel this time. Whatever it is, man, you got to do it with the passion that on the wherever you think you're going, you want to get there. Not you got to get there. You said legacy. We got kids. There's kids. There's grandkids. We ain't seen what's gonna happen in a legacy. Now we got all of this stuff going on. To be able to say, man, I'm gonna stroke a check to the cause. See, that's when you putting yourself in position to help some people. 10,000 people could change. We could change this law if 10,000 petitions got signed, but you must be in Washington D.C. We can't get to Washington D.C. because we don't have the dominion, the financial dominion, to get there, which is a problem that we're going to have to fix internally, which means that we're going to have to apply some principles that we enjoy so that God can bless us the way He wants to bless us. He's not going to give you what you don't supposed to have,
Right.
especially if you go do the work to get it or
Right.
keep it.
That's why they always say, what God
Wait,
has for
or
me
keep
is
it.
for me. Right. It's for me. It's not for everybody else. It's for me. So I appreciate, and first of all, I want to thank you once again for being here with us today. We got about 5 or 6 minutes, and I have collected these book of questions, and so I would like to go through and have you choose a number, and you'll answer one of my questions. So we got between 1 and 45. So go ahead and give me your number, and I will ask you a question.
My high school number. I'm a before Kobe Bryant. I'm older. I was 24, so
Oh,
24 in high school. Let's go with 24.
all right. Number 24. It says, "Who did you want to prove wrong when you started your entrepreneur journey?" And we always have somebody. It's always somebody. Sometimes they don't want to admit it, but somebody you wanted to prove wrong when they said when you told them the idea and they was like, "I don't think so." Is it a person? You don't have to say their name, but you could just say, Is it a
I get it.
person that you wanted to prove wrong?
I think this is inherent to black men's life. My dad, man, my dad, man, I love my dad to the umpteenth degree. But as a kid, my dad put pressure on me to be the best. You don't know it then, right? You don't get it. You think it's bothering you, but and I just wanted to show my dad that I could really do something amazing with my life. And not only it didn't, it's not that now. Now it's along with him, and that's the amazing journey. So absolutely, my dad has been my biggest supporter, challenger, and champion.
Right. And like they say, if it ain't no fight, it ain't nothing to win. So you got to be able to fight through somebody, and somebody got to be able to be your opposition in order for you to win anything. You can't win if you just the only one there and everybody say, yeah, yeah, go ahead. When somebody opposes, and I love when I start doing something and somebody says, well, what's that? And how does this work? Because it's giving me the opportunity to answer my own questions, make sure that I fully thought it through. Sometimes I got to go back to the drawing board like, wait a minute. I need to do
Right,
something.
right. One caveat to that piece right there. Once it really came to me that it wasn't him that I wanted to prove wrong, it was the guy in the mirror.
Mm,
It was the
yeah,
guy in the mirror, man. I know you better than this. Man, I
right,
know. Man, I know you got more. Man, you go in that room. Oh, they got the degrees. Man, you go in there. Oh, they know more. Man, you go in that room. You got that guy. Prove
right,
him wrong.
right. And that's always like I always say, we are our worst critic. And like we had a comment from Dennis West, Pastor West. He said, unfortunately, there are a few folks watching and waiting for you to fail. And sometimes people are, and we won't, because my success is not dependent on what you think, and what I know how to do ain't what you know how to do. So if you don't know what I'm doing, don't worry about it. That's my philosophy.
Man,
I do
Kobe
what I
Bryant shot 5 air balls in the playoff. 5 air balls, drafted and traded to the Lakers. Supposed to be the heir apparent, and shot 5 air balls right in the front of the world. That's embarrassing. People quit. People crumble.
right,
That's where before he became all these other things. But
right.
how about that? What an
Got to keep
example.
going. Right. He had to keep going. It's no stopping because he was passionate about it. And you see, to the day he left this planet, he was passionate about it.
That was a great feedback for the field, sir. Yeah, absolutely. People are waiting for people to fail. It's kind of like I know it's time. It's kind of like think of the big bougie table. Yeah, John. He's doing too well these days, right? Because John's not at the table. See, that's the deal. They just when you're not at the table, they think you're supposed. That's not your table. See, that ain't fair. That's not your table anyway. Your table invites you. Your table
Right.
celebrates you. Your table lifts you up. Your table wants you to win. Your table puts you in front. Your table calls you when you need to be called. Your answers the call when you need it to be answered. And man, if you don't put that table together, keep working to build it. That's the key right there. Hey, Vonshai,
Right.
you got me fired up. I,
You're going
you
to
had
close
me.
some deals when you leave this phone call, huh?
If we help
Well,
one person, then we did a good job.
we did. I hope somebody's listening and watching the glow. I hope somebody had a dream that was laying dormant, or had somebody who was telling you that you couldn't do it. I hope that you said, wait a minute, Von Shay said I could do it. Kijana said I could do it. I'm about to do it. We only got a few more minutes left, so I'm about to wrap up. So you got your books, we got your website popped up there, and if anybody wants to contact me about my spices, I got savory, spicy, and exotic. So you can contact me on my website. Get in touch with me. 123 Delicious. It don't even get no more easier than that. Now, what's our new slogan before we leave?
1, 2, 3, delicious makes every meal delicious.
Hey, I love it already. I love it.
I love it. Hey, let's take that. Don't forget me. That was that's all on the plane and everything, girl. You got it going on. Thank you for having me on, man. You are an amazing,
Thank
amazing host. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for watching The Glow. We will have you back again because you got a lot to talk about. I love to motivate people, and here at the Glow, we just want to lift everybody, bring everybody to awareness of themselves. Right now, you're at home with you. You better figure out what you know how to do. So we'll see you next week on the Glow. Everybody have a good weekend.